Take these glasses off because Assalamu rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Okay, how's everyone? Oh, my back. I'm getting old. Oh. Oh. That's what happens when you're almost 40. It's always you turn this way, you turn that way, something happens. I don't know why. All right. Oh my God, yeah. So you already kind of know what the title's about, right? Yeah. All right. I'm not going to say much. I just think it's funny. So, should we wait before we get into the analysis real quick? It's only going to take a few minutes because, English and logic are not difficult when you know them. But yeah. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Oof. Okay, so I just had to get my thoughts out because the stupidity is overwhelming at this point, and I just need to vent. I'm about to become compassionate, guys. Let's go. I haven't played, before we get into that, I haven't played Tears of the Kingdom yet. I have the special edition right over there, as you can see. But I actually haven't started it at all because I'm still playing Breath of the Wild. I'm like 90 hours into Breath of the Wild, and I'm only like halfway through the game. So, anyways, so all right, there's enough people in here. Let's just talk about this, okay? So, basic summary: a very detailed, quite explicit, quite just very apparent, very literal, very everything, like cannot be misinterpreted whatsoever. Statement was released recently, signed by 200 imams within the United States, regarding LGBTQ, etc., and about Islam's stance on it. Okay, boom, that happened. Very explicit. It's haram. We don't engage in that. We don't support it. All this stuff. And actually, the actual message itself, the actual thing, was drafted, or at least organized, by one of the most respected scholars in the West, who's respected across the world. Like, there is nothing you can say about this man. I mean, of course, he's flawed, but you can't say anything about this man because he is one of the most sincere scholars you'll ever meet in your life. And that is Sheikh Hatem al-Hajj. Many of you know him already. Okay, and I've recommended some of his books in here. Okay, Sheikh Hatem al-Hajj was the one who organized and oversaw this document. Okay? All right. So the usual suspects come out. The usual suspects. One by the name of Wajdi, Mufti Wajdi. He's actually one of my alma mater. He is he graduated from IIUM, where I graduated. Funny enough. But he's obviously not too bright. And other degenerate fasiqeen like himself and those he supports, came out and said, there's something wrong with this document because there's a sentence in there that says we have to coexist and that we have to tolerate them. So it must be liberalism. Oh my God. Oh my God. And bro, okay, so so I saw that and I was immediately like, okay, this is so. Before we get into why this is a problem, why this whole rejection of this document is absurd, let me just put it this way. Let me just tell you what's going to happen here. Okay. Okay. Let me just say this. You guys need to understand the psychology here. It wouldn't matter if Omar Soleiman or Yasser Qadi came out on national television with a knife, flying a flag of Tawheed, and saying that we have to stone these people and we have to throw them off buildings. This other group of people would come in and go, these guys are liberals because what they mean by stones and throwing people isn't good enough. That's literally what they would do. I'm not joking. Like they would be like, no, they're not throwing them hard enough. Liberalism. This is legitimately what would occur. Not because their standards are higher, but because they need to undermine these people. They have to, because then they have no relevance at all. Like their whole entire careers are based on undermining these people. Okay. They would even start complaining about the color of the stones used. They'd be like, they're not black. They're not legit. The stones have color like the rainbow. Therefore, it must be liberalism. Astaghfirullah. Like, I'm not joking. This is literally what would happen. So, anyways, okay. So let's get on to why this whole counter analysis is problematic. And I'll tell you why it is not valid. So, political context. This statement was released by these scholars living within the West, within the United States, where laws are already there to protect other minority groups, including LGBTQ+. Okay? In other words, it is by default that coexistence is going to be there. Just like there's coexistence with kuffar. Just like there's coexistence with people who drink alcohol and commit zina and produce pornography. Just like we as Muslims have to tolerate by law these people. Now, for some strange reason, tolerance is understood by people who don't comprehend basic English as being agreeing with or acceptance, when that's not the word, that's not what tolerance means. That's not the definition of that. That's never been the definition of tolerance. I can't tolerate you if I agree with you because I don't need to. The only way I can tolerate you is if I disagree with you. So the actual law of the land requires tolerance of other groups and coexistence within the United States. The only way to live in the US or other Western countries is if you still follow that law. It is not about acceptance. It's not about we have acknowledging their existence is a problem. That is ridiculous. We acknowledge the existence of people who do other sins. We acknowledge the existence of people who practice kufr. That doesn't mean you accept them. It is ludicrous to assume this. It is so ludicrous, and it also showcases a double standard, because anytime you talk about any other group and you acknowledge their existence or you acknowledge tolerating them, nobody says anything. It's only when it comes to gay people. That's it. Literally, that's it. That's the only, suddenly English and logic go out the window, because the reality is these people think that homosexuality is worse than kufr. They won't say that, but that's how they feel. They believe homosexuality is worse than kufr. Wallah. This is obvious at this point. I am judging by what's apparent by their behavior. You even see statements that saying we can work with Christians and Jews to fight other people, but God forbid they're homosexuals, because that's worse than kufr. Wallah, I'm providing evidence for it right now. They believe this sentiment to be true, because they will not fight other things that are worse according to our religion. They will not condemn those things in the same level, and they will not showcase the invalidity of working together with other individuals. Although our religion, the axiom of our faith is that kufr is the worst sin and is the worst form of rebellion against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, and then people respond to you, but the Sharia says that it's okay for kuffar to practice their religion. That is a non sequitur, is an irrelevant statement to make here. Because first off, we're not living in a Sharia state, number one. Number two, we have to abide by the laws that are present here, unless, of course, it opposes us or opposes our practice of our own faith. Okay? So here's the thing. Going into the statement one more time. It is by default, you have to tolerate and coexist with people in the US. There is nothing, you can't say I can't do that, because then you're saying I'm violating the law of the land. Okay. And here's the irony. The same people who are complaining about the statement are the same people who say every time that terrorism comes up or some sort of violence or some sort of accusation of violence, they go, no. I want the feds to know that I'm a peaceful person and I follow the laws of the land. Did you notice this? They do the same thing all the time. They put these little stupid little tweets up. I just want to tell everyone, don't go against the laws of the land. Please, feds, don't come after me. Please don't come after me. Right? And then they're opposed to the whole idea that we have to coexist and tolerate these people, which are the laws of the land. Right? That's the funny thing. Right? It's so hilarious how just like the double standards here. That's a completely different story about engaging in homosexuality. Nobody says that. No, I've never seen anyone say that's halal. It's ridiculous. So it's really funny how this logic doesn't seem to catch these people at all. Like, they don't even comprehend what they're saying. So please don't come after. I'm not calling for violence, but we can't coexist peacefully with these people. We mustn't. We have to oppose them at all costs. Okay, how do you want to oppose them? They just released a statement saying they oppose this. What do you want them to do next? Chirp, 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 chirp. It's not violence. Then what is it? It's not violence. What is it? Not violence. Please don't come after me, FBI. What is it? They won't answer. Protesting? We got to protest? Okay. But this is a form of protest, writing the statement out saying we're not going to abide by the government imposing these things on us. They've already released it. That's a protest. What do you want them to do? You want them to become politicians? Oh, you can't do that, because if they become politicians, then they're participating in a liberal system, which makes them liberals, right? So what else is there? There isn't anything else. It's either you oppose the law and do commit to violence, because you can't have, if you claim you can't coexist with people, that means they can't exist for you. They can't exist. Again, coexistence means you exist next to these people without hurting them, destroying them, getting rid of them. So if you say that we shouldn't coexist with these people in the United States, I'm not talking about Muslim country, I'm talking about the United States, what are you saying? Anyone? Anyone got an answer that's actually logical? Ooh, was it? We got a troll in there. Was it? You've been jealous of me for even more than that. There's a reason you're in my chat right now, which has never been advertised. There's a reason you're subscribed to me, right? Because I'm not subscribed to you, buddy. I have nothing for you. Okay, dude, then why are you here? Looking at my lovely presents. I'm not attracted to you, bro. Just go somewhere else. Okay? You want that? Go somewhere else. I'm sure your uncle can give it to you. Anyways, let's go. Am I sad? I think I'm pretty happy right now. So when you talk about these things, like when you say you have to oppose this stuff, you have to oppose peaceful coexistence, then what are you saying? Right? There is an obvious logical conclusion to that statement, right? There's an obvious logical conclusion to that statement. Again, there is a logical conclusion to that statement. It's not opposition. Because you can oppose peacefully, right? I can oppose someone peacefully, but if you're posting things saying you can't be peacefully with these people and you can't coexist with these people, you're saying that the only option is to not be peaceful and to not exist with them. Right. So what does that mean? Because at the same time, you're saying, I support the laws of the land. I don't want the feds to come after me because, I'm a peaceful Muslim. Right. So then what are you saying? What are you saying? Again, answer the question. Are you just saying we have to go into Target and make videos and go, hey, Target is bad? Okay, well, that's less effective than writing a letter saying we're not going to approve of this. Because again, let's I'm going to one more time. I'm going to say it. The law of the land approves of these people existing as people, acknowledges their existence, and then demands that society does not oppress them, does not hurt them physically, or refuse them like basic services like healthcare, for example. That's literally it. That's literally all it is. That there's nothing. It's not like saying, you have to have a gay person in your house or something. Okay, like you know what I mean. Like, bleh. Like you know what I mean. Like, or everyone has to have one gay person in their family or something. Like that's not what's going on. It's like. So what are you saying? Okay, the law of the land is changing. My point is, in the context of this discussion, of this whole thing, the whole letter says, hey, we are not going to accept this ideology. We're not going to allow it to be part of our lives. We're not going to allow it to be imposed on our children. That's what the document says. Okay, it's saying we are not going to allow the imposition of this ideology upon us. But we will still follow the law of the land and tolerate them and coexist with them as long as they don't impose upon us. And the people on the other side are going, that's not good enough. That shows that you're a liberal, that you're trying to make acceptance of this thing. Like what? Like, are you joking? Like what the hell's wrong with you? Like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. It's like saying, hey, it's like saying, because I tolerate Christians practicing Christianity, that means I approve of Christianity. That's like the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Yeah, another thing is like, yeah, part of the idea is like acknowledging these people exist. Like, they exist. I'm sorry. Like that's not an affirmation of the ideology. That's called facts. Like there are gay people. Like, like wow, you know, like we didn't know that already. Wow, okay. Um, like, like, bro, like we have gay people in our community. Like Paul Williams is gay. Okay, I'm not saying he commits acts of homosexuality, but he has same sex attraction. Why is nobody attacking him? Like, so you're okay? Like, what do you talk? They exist. People, those people exist. If I say that that person has this thing, does not mean that I'm affirming that. Like, that's not a secret. He's talked about it before, guys. I'm not revealing a secret. He's openly said that. Okay. It doesn't for okay, first off, I'm not insulting him. That's the problem like a lot of Muslims have, and I think a lot of people have this ridiculous misconception. It's not sinful to have those things. You do realize that, right? It's not sinful to feel that way. Okay, it's not if I say that, hey, this brother has same-sex attraction, you don't go, astaghfirullah. Like there's nothing wrong with that. Like that's the test that Allah gave him. Let him leave him alone. Like I'm not saying that he's doing stuff, right? Like come on. Like this is what I'm trying to say. This is ridiculous. It's like we are so as a culture and a ummah, we are like anything that if you say gay anything, people just lose their minds. Like it's like, dude, chill out. Okay, you need to look at what the religion says. Stop feeling the way that you feel about this. Like your cultural norms, your cultural sentiments have nothing to do with Islam in this respect. If somebody comes out and says, "Hey, I have same-sex attraction," they're not evil. They're not committing haram. Okay, they're just telling you what is in their psyche and what's in their, chemistry. That's all it is. Okay, leave them alone. Like stop. He's Muslim. He's Muslim. All right. He behaves as a Muslim. He's a Muslim. I mean, yes. Like I don't get why I have to even clarify this half the time. Like people are so upset when I say this stuff. Like, stop. Like, I'm sure Paul is way better than me. I don't care, Mohammed D. Like I don't understand why you're upset about me saying anyone's upset about me saying this. I'm not even joking about it. I have nothing against him for having same-sex attraction. I don't care. Okay, that's like what is wrong with you guys? Like stop. Like you're the ones taking it as an insult. It's not supposed to be an insult. Nobody's accusing him of haram acts. Okay, he has that. He has that. It's not a sin. Why are you saying it's a low blow? I brought it up as an example to show the hypocrisy of this community. It's not a low blow. I have there him having that is not a problem. What he's confessed to it on several occasions in public. That's also not a slander. Like, oh my god, like what? Like, ah, nobody says okay. The cultural norm is that you have people like even if a person has same sex attraction, you guys think it's a sin. A lot of people think it's just oh god, he's not even human anymore. It's like that's the crazy thing. That's the insanity of it. It's like literally so many people in our ummah like they think they really act like homosexuality is worse than kufr. Like it's insane. Um, it's literally insane. What is going on here? Pulls apart. Pulls apart. I am the biggest Wahhabi on the planet. I am so Wahhabi that they made a sauce called that I made a sauce called Wahhabi. You know, the one that you use in sushi. Okay, so as somebody who who so somebody who like counsels young people a lot, I get told all the time, not all the time, but by a lot of some youth that I counsel who have this issue, right? It's not something that it's something that, you know, people are struggling with because they have to okay, essentially like you have to understand that when you have that sort of struggle, that's not something that you just control. Like it's not something that you these kids, for example, they have a very difficult time even understanding how they feel that why they feel that way. Um, so then they want to be Muslim, like they want to remain as Muslims. So right, and the thing is, you have to understand that that feeling is in conflict with obviously what their values are, and they have to try to reconcile that to the best of their ability. So of course they have to come out and say that in order to figure out how to reconcile these things, right? You can't keep it in and then expect people to guide you in that manner, right? It's like this is impossible. So people have this really strange perception, and I'm gonna be frank with you. I think it's mostly around the Desi community. It's mostly the Desi community that's like this. Be quiet about things, shame other people, and then it'll go away. I'm sorry, but that's not how it works. And most of the kids that I counsel are from the Desi community, right? They're afraid to say anything publicly to their parents, even because you know things will happen. Um, so shame is not good when it's done to humiliate people. Having shame and giving shame are not the same thing. People also mistake that a lot. Um, Having shame and giving shame are not the same thing. Um, there is a difference between, say, a woman having shame or a man having shame for themselves, and then just walking out and somebody shaming you and humiliating you in front of people and trying to degrade you and make you feel insignificant. That's a difference, right? So, for example, I'll show you the difference. Like having shame for myself, right, by not engaging in certain activities, and then shaming people like Muhammad D in the chat, who is a fasik and a complete moron who was probably dropped on his head as a child. See, that's the difference. You don't you feel shame for yourself and then you shame other people. There's a different thing, right? You don't necessarily want to shame other people unless they deserve it, right? So, see, the people who like to shame other people, they don't like it when they're shamed. They hate being shamed in return because they can't handle it. because the entirety of their personality and their strength in who they are as a person and their strength in their own deen is dependent entirely on destroying other people. So, for example, you have individuals in the chat, for example, like Muhammad D, who believes that in order for him to feel like an Orthodox Muslim, he has to make sure other Muslims are less than he is, right? So that's why he promotes the shaming. He promotes doing these things because without it, he doesn't feel religious. He doesn't feel like a Muslim. That's the only way he gets close to Allah is by making sure other Muslims are less than he is. That's why he's also in this chat right now, trying to harass me and other people and some of his friends as well. So you have to understand that's also a problem in our ummah. Okay. So they don't come closer to Allah by praying. They don't come closer to Allah by doing good deeds. They don't come closer to Allah by reading the Quran and the Sunnah. Closer to Allah by destroying other people. That's how they do it. And of course, then they get triggered once they're called out for that because they don't realize that spending 24/7 on social media to make themselves feel superior isn't unhealthy. But, you know. Okay. Let's see what else is going on. It's only been 30 minutes. Yes, I can read English. Akila, very good job. Congratulations, you figured that out. So again, let's be frank to some of the individuals in the chat, is that if you decide to come in here and try to demean and try to humiliate and try to belittle myself or others, you'll be treated in kind. And if you don't like that and you act like a victim, then all I can say is stop being a bitch. If you can't take the heat, stay out of the kitchen. Like, get out of my kitchen. I'm cooking right now. And if I have to serve you up, I will. So, all right. He's better than me in a lot of things, including eating. And let me think, what else? Eating. Yes. I will do that. Let's see. What else are we going to say? So, yeah, that's the whole thing. So the ridiculous notion of this. Okay, one more time. This is funny. Personal insults. Muhammad D, you've been personally insulting me since you got in the chat, including other people. You've been comparing me to other people, and you're being immature and a child. And yet you're upset now that it's being done to you. Again, look at the mirror. You need to grow up. I know your balls haven't dropped yet, but they need to. Okay? You're not going to get this voice otherwise. You need to stop, collect yourself, go outside, touch grass. Come back when you're done. Okay? We're good. We're finished. All right. So, moving on, though, the point of the whole entire thing. Oh my God, why is wrong with you guys? Yes, he did. He's posted tweets about me just recently, last 2 weeks or so. He singles me out all the time. Stop. Okay, so what else? So yeah, so the point of the document is very clear. We are not going to violate the laws of the land. Leave us alone. We're not going to support the ideology. Leave us alone. Our religion is opposed to this. We will tolerate and coexist with them within this country as long, so because we're not going to violate the laws of the land and go out and go kill people. And that's it. That's it. That's the whole point of the document. And it's been blown out of proportion because some people desperately need desperately need these people to constantly be the enemy. And it's a consistent pattern because you notice this as well. No matter how much they repent, no matter how much they clarify, no matter how much they do this or that, none of it's good enough. It's none of it. Zero. Even when Omar Soleiman had repented, literally openly repented for going to that whole entire like protest thing where those people were doing, like he literally came out and said, "Forgive me, Allah." He came out and said that wasn't good enough because to these people, even your repentance is insignificant. Nothing, literally nothing will change it. Nothing. Nothing. Zero. They have zero, zero openness to change. They do not, their whole purpose is not to make the ummah better. It's not to correct people. It's not to make sure that people are held to account so they can become better Muslims, they can be better for the community. It has zero to do with that. It has everything to do with ego and brands. The algorithm, that is what they worship. It is nothing more. That's literally it. It's nothing else. Because let me tell you something. Here's the funny thing. They will take Andrew Tate by his word. I was playing a character. I was playing a character, bro. I was playing a character. I didn't do anything wrong. I will believe Brother Tate. He said he was playing character. Very good. But if you say, I repent to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, nope. Not good enough. Read between the lines, guys. He's obviously LGBT community, obvious. It's all about picking and choosing who you like. It's all about, you know, it's all about who promotes your brand. It's all about personal vendettas. It's all about ego. It's all about, oh, nobody's bringing me to the conferences, so I've got to take down everyone else. It's all about it's just all about that. It's all about ego. Everything is about ego. The whole entire thing. The whole entire thing. None of it's true. And even like same thing with how these people react. Look at the way that they treat their own allies. For let's say, well, you're part of this institute. Now they're compassionate imams. A year later, you're siding with the Salafiyah, the Madkhalis, right? And then a few months later, they're Rankhalis. They're a virus. Oh wow, how'd you figure that out? It's funny with the arrows of the enemy is when you're shooting yourself all the time, right? What's next? What's next is going to be the Randbundis. It's funny how, on the one hand, you could be so meticulous in critiquing your enemies constantly. You can go back to years to find statements about them. But when it comes to your allies, you're with them without any question. And then suddenly, it's like, they're a virus. Stay away from them. Interesting. I'm just saying, look at the insincerity here. Look at the insincerity here. How is it that every ally you have becomes your enemy suddenly and you have to stay away from them? How come every ally you have, you keep picking these people as your allies and then suddenly you turn against them constantly, right? Giving them nicknames and stuff. What does that say about you? It just shows that you're insincere about what they believe and you don't care because you're trying to do something for convenience. You're trying to have those allies for convenience, or it shows that you're incompetent. Which one is it? Because I'll tell you right now, I've seen people in the Muslim community in general who just ping pong off of groups like crazy. And then they're like denouncing the previous group constantly. Like there is something wrong with that person. Like they're not doing it for religion. They're not doing it for their principles. They're doing it for something else. Like they're that just saying, it's like it's one thing to move away from a group. it's one thing to move away from a group because you've learned over time and then you just sort of leave them and that's it. But then there's another thing, like every year you have your former allies are now your new enemies. Like every year that's like a new thing. It's like a new it's constant. It's like it's a consistent pattern. That's a problem. Right? God, there's so many trolls in here. What's going on? Where do they go? Is it Discord? Did you guys all come from the same Discord? Are you guys playing like Among Us already? Like what's going on over there? Like are any of you married by the way? Just curious because I can see why you're not. They're probably already sending like messages to girls like, "Can you show Bob and Vaj, please? And then marry me." Right. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you're wrong. No, dude, these are the same groups of people. It's like this one Discord channel. I'm not joking. Like, there's this one Discord channel, um, this Muslim Discord. They're so jealous of Turkestan, and I haven't been in Turkestan in a long time because, like, now we're the biggest one, right? And like, they're so upset. There's they're little like kids in here, like 14 to like, I'd say maybe 20, right? And um, they're always complaining about other people, and they're like literally like the lowest class of people in society. I'm not saying about like financially, I'm talking about like in terms of their mentality and emotions. They're like really ghetto, and they're always complaining about other Muslims. They don't show their face because they're embarrassed and they feel humiliated by their own existence. And like all they do every day is literally troll and make memes. Like this is literally their life. Like if you go to this Discord, they're posting constantly, and they're just like that's all they do. And it's like they don't have jobs, nothing. It's really disgusting, like disturbing. Like you can tell a lot of mentally deranged people join this place, and they need a lot of therapy, honestly. And I wish I could give them therapy, but they're too arrogant because they're compensating for their problems by attacking people constantly. So it's like that's what they consider to be their therapy, right? But it's not. It's only going to make them worse over time. And especially when they get married, they're going to treat their spouses like crap because they have no respect for other people in general or even themselves. So, uh, mm, you look like you're having a mental panic attack. Stop waffling and respond to his points. Respond to whose points? I already responded to everyone's points. I did a whole analysis. You weren't here, Saif. Okay, I'm sorry. Um, I am very good with the accent. Very good because I've heard it all the time. You're English? You're English? Really? All right, love. So tell me, tea and crumpets, what do you want to say to me? What did I not address? Bring your reasons, boy. I have addressed everything. You just don't comprehend anything. There's a difference. Learn, young one, and you will learn. His name is Saif, but he's probably more like a spoon. They're not personal insults, they're objective insults. They're factual. No, that's funny. I'm happy, but DH fans are acting just like those fans of the atheists. They are. They're exactly the same. The only difference is they say La ilaha illallah. But in behavior, they're exactly the same. David Wood fans, Robert Spencer fans, DH fans, they're all the same, like in their behavior. You can't tell the difference. In fact, sometimes I get confused when I see them comment. Like I have to look at the name and see if it's Muslim or not. Like it's difficult because they talk the same way. La ilaha illallah only means is a surface value if it's not practiced in behavior, right? If you're a demon in the flesh walking around killing people or hurting people in general, abusing people, then what does that even mean? I can still acknowledge you as a Muslim, but as a mu'min, no. I can still, I mean, you act like a kafir. What am I supposed to say? I can't make takfir of you, but I can still point it out. Right. I mean, like, what do you want me to do? You want me to treat you with more respect because you're just because you're a Muslim? Oh, bro, I'm Muslim. I mean, I'm raping women left and right, and I'm stealing from people, but you got to treat me better. It's like, no, bro, I'm going to punish you the same way. Like, what do you want me to do? Like this is ridiculous. This mentality is like they care more about identity than behavior and principles. Bro, I'm Muslim. You can't treat me that way. It's like, yeah, but you're committing crimes and you're abusing people and harassing people. Like, what am I supposed to do? Yeah, a lot of trolls are sub to me because they need me. They need me. They're like, Daddy Asadullah's online. Woo. Then why are you here, Muhammad D? Tell us why you're really here. Because you're trying to fight jihad? You're doing jihad right now? You're doing jihad. You fighting? You fighting? You... Counter misinformation. Oh, there we go. He thinks he's a jihadi. Oh no, he's trying to counter misinformation. He's coming on a live stream, countering him into. he's a with his fake name. Oh no. Oh my God. Oh, everyone's gonna hear now. Muhammad D is gonna go around telling everyone, and the whole world's gonna change. Oh my God. Oh my God. What's going on? Like, this is the delusion. It's so far up your butt. Like, what's going on? Oh God. Oh, go make me some chai, bro. Go make me chai, please. Just go make me chai. This is all you're good for. Like, this is your life right now. Just go make me chai, bro. This is all you're gonna do. Oh my God. I'm countering misinformation. I'm the one helping you. Oh, oh my God. What? This is crazy. Like these people. It's so funny how arrogant they are. I'm I'm here with my fake name while I'm on a random live chat that has 115 people and I'm countering misinformation. I'm going to save the world. Like, dude, go get a treadmill. Like, do something else, bro. You're not going to get these gains otherwise. Go do something. Stop bothering. It's not going to happen. Like, oh my God. Like, this level of self-delusion is insane. Like, this is literally none of the, even what I'm doing right here, I'm just talking to my friends. This isn't going to change anything either. I know that. I'm just here playing around. You're here thinking that you actually have something to say and that it's going to do something. That is insane. That is insane. Like, that is insane. Oh my God. Like, that's the level of delusion we're dealing with in the community as well. You got these young boys who come on and they think that they're actually doing something by being trolls. That is insane. Like, as a mental illness, honestly. Mm. Oh. Yakin don't pay me for anything, boy. I'm not even part of Yakin anymore, and I never got paid by them. I did everything based on principle. Because unlike you and the people you follow, I'm not a da'i for dollars. Oopsies. And I have a real job. So, oh. Yeah, they always look for a hidden agenda. You notice that? it's always like they're behaving just like the Islamophobes, because Islamophobes are always like all Muslims are practicing taqiyya. You notice that it's the same mentality. It's crazy. No, he hasn't shaken anything. It's really interesting that Daniel literally alone has shaken the whole liberal Muslim sphere. He hasn't done anything. He hasn't done anything. All these so-called liberal groups are still gaining in popularity. They still make more like donations. They still have a far bigger reach. Their engagement is rising constantly. If you want to count social media presence, if you're just counting that, which I don't really consider to be completely valid, because I've already argued this before, that social media is not necessarily a measure of impact or influence. But if you want to count that alone, that's false. Secondly, he is unknown in almost every circle in the world. So no. Ugh, excuse me. Yeah, dude. Nobody lives in my no, there are a lot of people who live in my head rent free, but not as guests, but as tools, as possessions. So they're correct in that extent, right? But it's not because I obsess. See, the difference between me and these other individuals, and especially the trolls in here, is that after this stream, I'm gonna go do the things that I want to do. I'm gonna go to work, right? I'm gonna have like a life, and then I'm probably not gonna come back here for another couple of weeks because I have nothing to talk about. It doesn't cross my mind half the time. But for them, this is a constant cycle. Like they're on these mediums 24/7. Like some of the people in here are on these social media streams like 24/7. Like this is their life. It's pathetic. And then they have the audacity to come here and say, "Oh, people live in your head rent free." Bro, I'm not waiting to jump on anyone's streams. Like I literally came on here randomly because I just want to talk to people. Like uh, I am a faculty member at a university. My daughter is good. Thank you for asking. She's playing right now, eating cookies. Like it's funny too, because it's like the golden age. They think they're gonna revive Islam by making memes and stuff, and making and like going online and chatting all the time. Brothers, if we just troll these people, we will bring Islam back into glory. And if we tell the women that they're inferior and stupid, we will get married one day and have many babies. It's like, no, bro. I hate to break it to you, but none of that's going to happen. Oh. Well, Defrost, I probably won't show her my channel, but I know for a fact that if she sees you when she grows up, she'll definitely be disappointed. So, because many women already are. It is not haram to smile. I know that for a fact. No, I do not believe free mixing is okay. I'm not going to ignore the trolls because they're good comedic, you know. If your mother knew that you were on here behaving as you do, you think she wouldn't be disappointed in you? I know she would. I know. You need to get a job, bro. Go find work. Go somewhere else. I'm on my break. Like, and I know you don't have one. Let's go. I already talked about that stuff before. The kid. What's wrong? Hold on, give me a minute. What's going on? Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Sorry. I had to go do parenting, something that a lot of the people that I'm opposing don't realize or understand. See, in Islam and in family, both parents are parents, not just the woman. So I know some of you in the chat don't realize that, but just want to let you know. Hooah! Okay, where are we doing? What's going on now? What's happening? Oh God. See, this is the other problem with trolls too. They don't know me. I have been doing Dawa for a very long time. I think that I have about when did I start doing? 2010, I think. Or was it 2008? 2009. 2010, I started a YouTube channel and I did a lot of Dawa and wrote a lot of papers and stuff, primarily targeting atheists, Christians, Jews, Islamophobes. In fact, only years have I really targeted a lot of the elements within the Muslim world, a lot of the negative, toxic elements within the Muslim community. And it's interesting because since then, I've been accused of only attacking Muslims, which is interesting. It also is strange considering the fact that the same people who always accuse me of this support the people whose job is only to attack Muslims 24/7, or at least do so primarily, right? So I find it really strange and hypocritical. So let me be frank here. Since some of you have this perception, you can't use that accusation on me because I have more written material, more hours of time and research spent in debating kuffar and refuting them, writing several articles, in fact, than you ever will, as far as I'm concerned. And I spent a great deal of my life attacking anti-Islamic ideologies. And in fact, I have been threatened. I have been harassed, abused. I've had people try to hunt me down. I mean, I've been through a lot. And then I even dealt with the Khawarij face on when I was living in Malaysia. I assisted in fighting them, literally, because they were trying to kill the Muslim, fellow Muslims. I mean, what have you done? I mean, you want to call me arrogant all you want, you can, but you see, here's the difference between you and me. I have a right to say these things because they actually happened. What do you have? You want to call that arrogant? Be my guest, but you're the ones attacking me and trying to degrade me for the stuff that I've done in the past. And it's like, you have nothing. Like, what are you talking about? Like, there was a point when I risked my life to save some people. Okay. And it wasn't something that I'm not happy about because I was scared on my mind. But I mean, you come in here and then act like I didn't do anything. Like, who the hell are you? I have sons. I take care of them without showing off. Then why are you in here bothering me and trying to show off that you're better? It's annoying. If I had kids, Like if I had sons, should excuse me because I have a daughter. If I had sons, one of the things I wouldn't do is follow people like the people I'm talking about. Number one, because I would be embarrassed. Number two, I would also not behave like a troll constantly by harassing people. See, that's the thing is that you don't want to treat boys to be like that. Okay, because a man does not behave that way. A man does not go around finding people to harass and belittle. Okay, a man responds in kind, sure, but they don't go around looking for it like you and your friends do. Like that's not manly. That's a bitch behavior. I'm just being frank. That's bitch behavior. That's what a woman on menopause does when she's angry. Okay, so that was necessary because these boys need to understand this. Because you see, the thing is, you have to understand too, is that they don't. They take all this length. They take all of these things, like all these words that I'm saying right now. When it comes to like when I'm saying these type of stuff, is because they go around talking like this to everyone else. They go around calling people simps, themselves alphas, and they call everyone betas, and they cucks and all this stuff, all these degrading terms. They go around insulting women constantly. And the moment you come after them, the moment that you say something similar to their sort of vernacular, they lose their minds. That's the point. That's why Selena brought that up, because they can't take that. That's the thing. These boys need to grow up. Thing is, they come in and they act like in this sort of this very childish, petulant fashion, and they don't do this in real life, mind you. Let's be honest, because they don't do this in like what we call physical reality, because they know there are consequences. Like if they walk up to me, for example, if I was sitting down at a cafe or something, these boys walked up in the chat right now and they talk to me like this, it'd be a very different conversation. Let me tell you that right now. Because one, they know for a fact that there's a different type of social etiquette when in physical reality. Number two, I wouldn't stand for that. And some of these boys I put in the ground. Not really, but they know that. So they're not stupid. They're not that stupid. That's why they do this stuff online and in private and anonymously, because they the real heat in real life. They're very meek and mild in person. Believe me. Imagine a gay person kissed your children. What the hell are you living? What is wrong with you? Like, oh, I don't resort to any low blows. Because here's the problem, default, is that you guys come in here and you don't actually offer any real disagreement. You don't offer any sort of valid concerns. You don't offer any arguments. What you do is come in here and you insult me. You try to degrade me and the chat. You come in here saying stupid little words like simp, cucks, and all this other nonsense. You then try to compare me with other people. You get upset when I respond in kind and you act like a victim. That's the problem. So you need to grow up, act like a man if you want to be treated as such. Otherwise, I'm going to treat you like a boy, a very, very bad boy. And I'm going to teach you what a man is supposed to do. Okay? You don't like it, don't do it, son. I mean, it's funny. You guys are like so sensitive when you get treated in kind. You come and you think you can just abuse people left and right. And then when somebody responds to you, you're like, astaghfirullah. Why? Why are you so mean to us? Go get me chai. Shut the hell up. You will lose intellectual. You will lose intellectual. Please, you lose intellectual. They're all from Discord. Oh, I'm racist now too. God, you will lose intellectual. It's funny too because like I'll say something bad about like Desi culture or whatever. I'll make fun of certain Desis, and that's racist. But like, it's funny because they act like liberals too. They triggered like liberals. But then it's like they're like Western people are the worst people. They're also dirty. They're all bad. All Western Muslims are deviants and they're all bad people. They're all, blah, 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 blah. It's like, bro. So you can bash Western culture all day, but if I come after Desi culture, something I'm racist. Please. My accent does need work, Vikas. You're correct. I'm trying. Give me a break. It's not easy. No, because many of my Desi watchers are the ones who approve of my comments. You can ask them. We go over this all the time. I'm very critical of every culture on the planet, even my own. I don't care. I go after everyone because I think there are problems in every culture and there's problems with every group, regardless of how much nationalism you consume, how proud you are of your ethnicity or whatever, right? The thing is like I don't have a filter with that respect. You want me to bash Spanish culture? I'll do it all day long. You want me to bash American culture? I'll do it all day long. But there are also positives in both that I respect and admire. But there are also obvious problems that need to be addressed, right? You do have like in Desi culture, for example, you do have a huge problem with many aspects of like shaming people. You have a lot of cultural backwardness when it comes to like even race. Like, I mean, it's funny, like call me racist. It's like colorism, like hating children for being dark is a thing in a lot of Desi culture. I'm sorry. I'm going to be honest with you. Um, there is a personal story. I have a sister-in-law who just gave birth to a beautiful baby girl, and the baby girl is darker than because the father is darker, right? And I can't tell you how many times I've heard comments from other in-laws about how ugly this little 2-year-old girl is. I'm not joking. Like I've heard it in front of me and I've lost my mind. Like I've literally gone after these people. I don't care. Like they know I'm from the United States, so they're like, they expect it at this point. Like I went off on somebody recently when I was in the UAE. Like somebody said that in front of me. In front of I was this is my niece. Okay. She's in front of me. I heard this auntie and uncle say something. I went after them. Like I literally jumped on them. Not literally jumped on, but I like verbally jumped on them. Like it was bad. I had to be pulled away from the room. Okay. My wife is Daisy. Right. Like there's stuff in certain Desi cultures that need to be completely wiped off the face of the earth. Like it's disgusting. They want me to debate people because even though I don't debate anyone anymore, I've been out of the scene for a long time. They want me to debate because their whole idea of debate is entertainment and they want to feel better about themselves. And one of the things is that because the debate culture that we have today is not really about facts, it's not really about analysis or logical conclusions or anything of the sort. It's all about showing confidence and giving izzah, giving pride, false pride to your community, your audience. So what they want to see an opponent because they already know they think he's going to win. That's the thing. They think anyone that they want you to debate is going to win. That's the whole thing. They're not willing to change their mind, which is the point of debate, is that you have to try to be open to the possibility of being wrong. But that's not the point for them. The point for them is a form of entertainment so they can gain some sort of izzah, like some sort of like pride, in terms of their own identity and their own politics and their own considered values, right? So they want to see somebody bash the other side so they can feel better about themselves, right? That's the whole point. So, um, so that's the whole point of it, right? Now, if I ever got back in debate, which I won't because I have a headache, I don't play like that. My whole purpose of debate is to show the facts, to show what's wrong, and then to leave it at that. just like I did with like Robert Spencer. Remember, well, he refused a personal debate. But when I did my videos against him, right, the whole point was to show here are the facts, here's what's wrong, here's what's not valid, here's what is valid, and then leave it at that. And that's it. But that's not what it is today. Today is like, okay, let's show how Islam is greater, and let's just make our followers feel better about their lives. That's basically the whole point of it. It's not about Islam. It's not about trying to get people to Islam. It's about honing the liberals so you feel better about your inferiority complex. I am still writing a book. The bigger points are that there are individuals who are much better to follow and to get guidance from than the lowest in the trash can. Okay, you can't just be like, that's not an excuse. I keep hearing this excuse of we have to address why these people exist. Yes, we do have to address why they exist, but that's not the main point. That shouldn't be the end all solution. Oh, once we understand why they're like this, suddenly it's going to be okay. Suddenly we can justify that. No, it's the same reason we don't justify terrorist, right? We don't justify again. This is not saying they're the same thing. I'm just trying to make an analogy to show you why the methodology is screwed up. You can't say like I can tell you all the reasons why people become terrorists. I've read all the psychology, and of course, it has to do with Western oppression. It has to do with being terrorized yourself. This is why they join terrorist organizations. We don't suddenly go, well, I guess ISIS is justified. Nobody says that. Nobody says that for any group that has gone the wrong path. Just because you know the reasons does not necessitate that the organization or the people joining it are somehow now justified as a result of that. That doesn't make any sense. That's completely wrong logic to use. So I don't like that whole entire ideology now that promoted that. Oh no, well, they have to exist because these people over here aren't doing something. Well, yeah, there's a lot of Muslims around the world who aren't establishing the caliphate, but that doesn't suddenly become ISIS doesn't become valid now. That's ridiculous. That's a ridiculous assumption to make. Boring. Yes, Shampoo. Everything's boring to you because your entire life is around entertainment. Knowledge and understanding things is all about being entertained. Look, if you want that, go to PewDiePie. Okay. If you want to be entertained, go find cat videos or something of the sort. I'm not here to entertain you, son. It's no wonder you're not educated because you think education is supposed to be entertaining, right? Go drive a taxi. It is true. Tears of the Kingdom is very good. So you have to understand that this whole entire culture is all built around entertainment. You can even see it. You thought I died? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Zer. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to give you that doubt. I'm alive. I'm here. I'm okay. Don't worry about me. Yeah, people are slaves to the algorithm. That's the problem. Compassionate imams have corrupted the Muslim youth. Really? Do you have statistics for that? Do you have any sort of evidence for that whatsoever? Do you have anything to prove other than polemics that you find on YouTube? Because I can tell you right now, that's just not the reality. Even the whole compassionate imam thing is it's a whole caricature of what's actually going on. It's an exaggerated thing. It's the same way that CVE and Islamophobes use the word extremist. It's the same application. God. Compassion's a bad word. Yaqeen is an agenda organization. They're run by Rand, an organization that has absolutely no influence whatsoever on the U.S. policies. So, it's all a conspiracy. lizard Jewish people are coming for us. Watch it. Watch out, everyone. They're going to turn you gay. I haven't watched them. They're watering down Islam to gain acceptance from Kafir. Everyone. Oh, I'm apparently a CVE employee, even though I've never worked for any organization, any U.S. government, any Western government. God. Oh my God. These guys are desperate. I'm totally against Yakin. Everyone run away. Sheikh Uthman, I don't know about him much anymore. I mean, when I talked to him before, we seemed to be cool. I mean, he seems to be very generous and very sincere. I haven't seen him forever, so I can't comment. So we haven't talked in like probably a year. So Lut's wife wanted to coexist. Oh God. Please, just let the headache go away. Let the headache go away, please. Why are stupid things existing in this planet? Allah, please answer me. Oh yes, Lut's wife wanted to coexist after Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was going to destroy the society. Lut's wife did not live in the United States and have to live as a minority in the US and didn't have to abide by specific laws that govern a secular majority. See, because it's funny that you said that. Lut's wife, using Lut's wife. Okay. If let me just put it this way. If every scholar thought as you did, there would be no such thing as minority fiqh. That's all I have to say. There you go. Okay. Like I just, and it's funny people bring up this thing about Lut. It's like Lut. It's like, okay, well, so what are you saying then? So what you think that what is the solution then? Because the solution for Lut was what? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent down, he completely destroyed that city, he completely wiped everyone off the face of the planet. So what are you saying? What are you saying? What are you saying we should do in the United States? What are you saying? Again, I'm going to ask you. Answer the question. Answer the question. What should we do with LGBTQ in the United States of America? Tell me now. What is your answer? What is your answer? What is the solution? What is the solution? I've refuted feminism for 2 years straight at one point. It's all on my previous Andalusian page project, Facebook. I even have like debates with feminists. Okay, actively oppose. Okay, so when you write a document that actively opposes, when you say we will not stand for this, that is not enough to you. So what do you want? You want us to vote for Trump? You want us to vote for the right, the same right that wants to make Muslims second-class citizens. That's what you want us. That's what you want us to do. Because as a minority that only make up like less than 1% of the population, what are we supposed to do? Oh, so somebody in the chat said yes. We want us. You want us to side with the same people who want us to be second-class citizens, who don't even want Muslims to have rights. You want to side with those people, like the people who only like less than 2 decades ago created laws to oppress the Muslims in the United States. And then you want to call me a traitor? You want to come after me? No, I don't want anyone to side with anyone. I'm not saying to side with any party. What the hell's wrong with you? Like, it's always one way or the other. It's like you either have to do this or that. It's like, no. So it's like you want me to protest alongside the right. You're more you're more concerned with if I go to okay, so it's not okay for me to go to a protest, let's say for Palestinian rights because a gay person might be there. But I have to actively protest alongside the right who hates Islam and hates Muslims, who has actively been utilizing Islamophobia to conduct wars in the Middle East for the last 20, 30 years, has killed our brothers and sisters, who supports killing our brothers and sisters, and wants to deport us all. You want me to be with them, though. That's okay. That's okay. Okay. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Trump left Afghanistan. Actually, Biden left Afghanistan. Trump didn't do anything. So, okay. So, what if I oppose it with my words? That's not enough. If I say, "Hey, we shouldn't be doing that," that's not enough to you. That what do I have to do? What is the other opposition that I need to do? What is the other opposition that I need to do? Without involving myself in these politics, what else can I do? Migration. Okay, so you want me to leave? Okay. So that is a valid opinion among some scholars say you have to stay for certain situations and that sometimes it's better to stay. But they only tell you to migrate under one condition. What is a condition in which it is stated to migrate? Does anyone know? Anyone know what the ruling is regarding migration? The majority opinion, not threat to life, oppression, religious persecution, right? That's it. It's not because Target is putting rainbows on their clothes. Bootlickers. What question do you ask me? How am I licking any boots? How am I licking a boot? What is the boot that I am licking? What boot? What is this boot licking that you keep discussing? I know you borrow these terms from your master, but what boot? What respond to what? What am I responding to? It's funny too because the people asking you to do something, they don't do anything. They don't do anything. Like all they do is post memes all day. They do nothing. Like it's funny. Hatam al Hajj. What? Rifat is just off the. You lost your mind. That's all untrue. I'm I'm just saying. Yeah. What do you do with it? Okay, then tell me, shampoo. What do you do? What are you doing? Open it up right now. Don't be like, oh, I'm being humble, brother. I don't want to tell you. No, tell us now. What are you doing? I want to have the answer so I can do it. Tell me what I can do. Come on, bring it here. Give me the advice, son. I want to hear your advice. I want to see what you do. Tell me what you're doing. Please tell us all here right now what the solution is. Tell me right now because I want to hear it. This is funny. I want to show you what's going on here. Meet. What? Okay. You want me to make YouTube videos? Okay. Is that it? Start what? Okay, stay firm on your positions. All right, so let's write a document staying firm on positions and do not get involved in it. Okay, homeschool your kids. What about Islamic private schools? Again, that's not actively fighting anything. That's just retreating. If you boycott something, it just means you're not going to buy it. If you're homeschooling, you're just bringing your kids out. You're just making hijra in a different sense. But that's not fighting it. These guys say you have to fight it. I want to hear what they have to say. What's the fighting you have to do? What do you have to do? Tell me. I want to hear the answer. What's the okay? What counter strategy against 14-year-olds? I just want to hear it. I want to hear what the haters have to say. I need to hear it. Come on. Come on, shampoo. Where is it? Where's the answer? It should be very easy. You've been telling me to do it the whole time. You and your friends have been telling us to do something. Come on. Tell me. What is the answer? I want to hear it, guys. Don't you all want to hear it? What's the answer? What is the answer? What did you say? Where is it? What is the answer? I haven't seen anything here. Repeat the answer. What is the answer? How are we supposed to do this? How do you fight? What are you supposed to do in the United States with regard to this issue of LGBTQ? We do coexist with these people. We just don't coexist with people. We throw people in jail who violate other people's rights. So, for example, if a pedophile abuses a child, obviously you send them to jail. And yes, you do coexist with furry people. Like we need furries, as dogs and stuff. Yeah, we do. Okay, lobby. What does lobbying mean? That means you have to be part of a political party, right? And protest. Okay, protest. Start social media campaigns. Okay. So writing a letter, being very direct, saying, "Hey, we're never going to approve of this," and it's going viral. That's is that sufficient? Lobby. Why would you lobby? What lobby? You know what lobbying is, right? It means you have to like use money to influence Congress. Okay, so that means you have to. You do know what that means, right? That means that you have to support a party. Where's the answer? I still don't see an answer, like an actual answer. Yeah, again, should Muslims leave India? Are they calling for Muslims to leave India right now because they're being persecuted more? Nobody's calling for that because there's no gay people doing it. Where's okay? So I've read what protest. Okay, so you can influence both parties the same way that APAC did. You know, APAC, they've basically lost their religion, right? Like Orthodox Judaism is gone. You do realize that, right? Because of their influence of these parties, because they're intermingling with these politics. Like, why would you want to be like that? I don't support any of that stuff. I'm just saying that I'm not going to go around. Okay, I'm going to tell you what I do. I'm not going to bother unless they start imposing stuff on me. I'm not going to do anything about it because that's their business. It's their laws. It's their. If I want to change society, I'm just going to give dawah, but I'm not going to involve myself in politics. I'm not going to get corrupted like that. Okay, I'm not going to do that. Right, and if I have to leave, I eventually will leave. But right now, I can still teach the deen. I can still. My daughter is still okay. There's still Islamic private schools. Everything is still fine in terms of being able to practice our religion. I'm not here. I don't care about changing this. I'm not going to making this place the caliphate. This is not my business. But for anyone to tell me that I have to go out there and do these things when I know for a fact it's going to lead to corruption, it's going to lead to problems, that's going to affect the Muslim community worse than myself, I'm not going to do that. And again, I'm going to ask too, what are you doing? Are you lobbying? Are you protesting? What are you doing? What are you doing? Are you just here making memes? Like, seriously, what are you doing? It's so funny. Everyone's always calling people like, do this, do something, do something. In the meantime, I'm going to make a meme about you not doing something. What answers do you have? All I keep hearing is protest, lobbying, oppose it openly. These are all vague terms. These are all vague statements. They don't actually say anything, and it showcases that you don't actually have the answer. Let me be frank. You told me what to do. I just heard what you do. I saw it, and it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't do anything. Like, it's always funny. Like, you guys come in here, you have complaints, but you never have solutions because you don't have solutions. That's all you can do. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. She's bored. She wants me to come and play with her. All right. I will see you all later. You have a good day. I have to go be a parent now. The rest of you in here, using your time unwisely, please, educate yourselves, get jobs, find wives, become better people. Okay. Bye bye. Assalamu alaikum.